Welcome to DDT Wrestling Podcast, your weekly, sometimes weekly, episodic podcast on all things wrestling, WWE. So, this is it, the final weekend before WrestleMania. We're going to get into it. We have a full crew, we had a full staff for our WrestleMania predictions episode. We have Brendan, we have Riss, I'm here. Let's get into it. So, Brendan, we're gonna have our topics, our normal topical discussion, and then we're gonna go with our predictions. So let's talk wrestling.
So first, I want to talk about how Jay, Jimmy, and Gunther the 2 weeks ago when Gunther did that to Jay, or not Jay, Jimmy, that like revived the entire build because it was so depleted and so dark. It was nothing. But then he took out Jimmy, made Jay watch, and then Jay the week after that just surprised me with how like the crowd was even like saying yeet, but then they understood that they needed to shut up.
Mhm.
Right, right. I agree. It really didn't have a lot of heat because I think I heard Gunther talk about this. It had 10 weeks
Yeah.
from when he won the Royal Rumble to now. That's a lot of time to figure out how can we get heat for this. And people were talking about Jey Uso and his steam is going down. All he has is the yeet. He can't wrestle, all of this stuff. And then that's how WWE is. On a dime, they can do something story-wise, and now we're invested. I I can actually see, I mean, you got the star power with the triple threat. I think we should still be yeeting the night away on night one.
No, I totally agree. This is actually, funny enough, this is actually one of my topics. I titled it The Main Event Match That Will Start the Show because, unfortunately, the triple threat and, of course, Cody and Cena stole its thunder. But 100%, I was starting to feel a little lukewarm about it, but that's all it took. It took one segment, it took one promo. Jey Uso sold that.
Yes,
And now we feel like he's going to kill Gunther and he's going to get that title.
I think
Um,
he has to. I think he has
he
to
has
kill
to. He has to.
murder.
Exactly. Get the gun. That's it.
Yeah, I think Jay's winning this one.
You,
There's no chance he loses.
we'll get to prediction. Spoiler alert.
My next topic is Randy versus who? Because on SmackDown, you obviously had Solo come out, so now he's an option. Hope they don't go that route. But now Jacob's locked in with LA Knight, so kind of can't have him fight him. But is Nick Aldis actually the only other option?
I mean, look, don't sleep on Nick Aldis. Dude can wrestle. He could talk. I don't know if he's been like injured or something why they gave him the GM role, but he can go. But there's no buildup for him being in that ring.
Mhm.
Now, there's a couple of returns, rumored returns. There's a promo. There's some mysterious promo they're doing, some guy in smoke that they could do the Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins thing where they didn't announce Cody and then all of a sudden, boom, he shows up. We were there. We experienced the boom, boom. We experienced Cody coming out. So I think they can do that with Mr. Aleister Black. I think he could be that opponent. It's a shame because I love Kevin Owens. That is my guy. My guy is Kevin Owens. And it's a shame that, this went down right at WrestleMania, time frame. But you can go with Black. You can go with, I mean, there's rumors that Rusev signed with the WWE. Um, Other than that, what do you do? Have him fight Carmelo Hayes again? Like, I don't know. What do you think, Russ?
Anything but that. I mean, you can't have a WrestleMania without Randy Orton. He said that it's like 20th WrestleMania, which is crazy thinking about how long he's been around in this business. So they got to come up with something, and that something cannot be him hosting. It can't be him outside the ring. They have to figure something out. I think they will, but the returns would be the best case scenario for this. And between Aleister Black and Rusev, I would 100% prefer Aleister Black. Like He's he has so much aura. We of course miss him. It would just be so perfect to integrate him right back into the main roster. Um, so fingers crossed that that's the case.
Like, who would you pencil in? Brendan, you have the pencil. Who are you penciling in? Or are you adding Orton to a match?
I don't know where he would fit it though, because that's tough. Like because there's no build, so it's kind of tough to pick where he's going. Because they didn't even give him a full on Seth Rollins build where he struggled after struggled and struggled to get on the Mania, to where he got a random opponent.
Right, right. That's true. I really don't know. I'm leaning towards either Rusev or Aleister Black as a surprise. He's standing in the middle of the ring in his wrestling gear,
Mhm.
waiting who's gonna come out. Lights go out, and then you hear, Aleister Black's theme music, and he comes up all sadistic looking, and they have a banger. But that poses another question. If you have Rusev or Aleister Black as a surprise opponent, do they lose to Randy Orton? Does Randy Orton lose in WrestleMania? I think you could have him lose and start a feud with one of them. Like, they're instantly going to be a heel. They got to be a heel against Randy Orton, who's basically a face. But do you have him, a newcomer, lose like that? I don't think I like that.
No. They could have like some kind of interference to make them both still look strong. Or they could make it into a series of matches and just have it be a feud that goes on for the next PLEs that they have.
Backlash. Back.
Backlash, perfect. I got one more since we kind of covered mine already, and I have it titled Seth Rollins is the best. And the reason why I have that is because I feel like he gets recognition, of course. He has a sing along, people cheer, whatever. But I feel like people have really writ him off as like a third wheel in this triple threat match, which at first that was fair, whatever. But I think with the most recent promo that he did, and kind of, testing Paul Heyman, just being the real voice of reason in this whole situation, he really made himself matter in this match. He really made himself able to shine with a CM Punk and a Roman Reigns, which is tough to do because they both have completely obliterated him, saying that he's second to them, saying that the fans don't care about him as much as they care about them, saying I make 10 times more than you. Like it's insane. Like the fans sing along and then they instantly will cheer CM Punk or start that Roman song. So it's like he did a great job with that, and I think since the Shield breakup, he's really done a great job as like a solo a solo competitor, and has just stood out to me the whole time. So I think he deserves all the recognition, and I mean, I'm kind of premature with the predictions, but I kind of want him to
La,
end
la, 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 la.
it. But what do you guys think?
So, and I'm with you with Seth Rollins.
Mm-hmm.
That guy, like, first of all, I don't know if he really hates CM Punk, but my God, when that man is around, the facial expressions he put on when CM Punk is around
He hates him.
is insane.
Yeah.
But yet I mean, cutting promos. I don't even want to talk about his in ring because in ring he's
Mm-hmm.
probably one of the best in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he has his charisma. I still find it weird with the whole Joker demeanor and that. I don't know if I'm into that so much, but he is the man. As far as this triple threat, to me, it looked like, you know, a guy and a girl going out, and the girl brings a girlfriend with her, and,
Yeah. A breakup.
or a third wheel, like,
Yeah.
but like we just talked about with Gunther and Jay on a dime, they can just switch you up, and now you're invested.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're wondering, and we'll get in predictions, but how does that even go? Now that he put himself in the Paul Heyman conversation. So yeah. What about you, Brendan? Where are you at with this triple threat and Seth Rollins?
Seth Rollins has done amazing work, especially as a solo star. But his work and his persona really fits his personality because his jokes there, it feels like he's so comfortable with it and he
That
can get
is
away with
true.
what he wants.
That's very true as far as being comfortable with it because it almost felt like, and I've heard this said before, like he was acting, like he wasn't fully invested in the character that he's portraying. Like, you look at CM Punk, who when he's cutting a promo, you think like, yeah, this guy is he's real. Roman Reigns doing the whole bloodline arc. But I said I'm not really into the Joker theme, but dude is invested. He's pulling it off. He is that character. I agree. He he is great. I'm invested. I'm invested. So all right. Well, with that, I'll go into my topic. I want to talk about the build up. We had the build up of WrestleMania 40, which was insane because you had the crazy stuff that happened. You had Cody go into the ring and hand his championship match to The Rock, which was complete. It was just dumb. I know they said one thing that we were always going this way, but I think that's crap. I think they wanted Roman versus The Rock, and then chaos happened. To date, I think that's probably the best buildup of a WrestleMania that I've seen. Um, you had so much going on. But so in WrestleMania 40, of course, we had the Bloodline and Cody finishing the story. We had Bailey basically being excommunicated from Damage Control. She was going after Io. Um, is that the one where we had Jay versus Jimmy? We had Jay versus Jimmy.
Yeah,
Um, uh, of course, we had Seth Rollins, who was injured and who was also involved with Cody, going up against Drew McIntyre and CM Punk caused the cash
you
in.
got Pumpkin Grill.
Yeah, yeah. So, but it seemed like all of their energy was with the bloodline, and then the other tentacles was related to the bloodline feud. And then you had some other matches going on. I think AJ Styles went up against LA Knight, I think. I can't remember. And that's how it was for me. I can't remember so much because it was just the bloodline.
You had also had Rhea Ripley and Becky Lynch to
Right.
start
You
the
had
show.
Rhea and Becky. That was a big buildup. That was a big one. Um, so now we have this build up. Of course, we have Cena with the heel turn, which they talked about on CNN. Um, you had,
And Bart talked about it.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it was talked about everywhere, the Cena heel turn. So we got that, but of course, they were on TV. But where's The Rock? Where's The Rock? And like, you know, the whole soul thing. I'm taking his soul. Like, where's that? Other than that, I mean, we just talked about Gunther and Jay. They put some heat on that. So there's build up for that. And then we have the women's title triple threat match where Rhea got herself in that title match. Earlier we talked about changing on a dime. Oddly enough, Stratton and Flair got me a little more invested based on that that train wreck of promos that they did. But I'm a little more invested in that. But my question, I'm saying all of this to get to the question. The buildup of 40 versus 41. Where are you two with this buildup? How are you feeling? You know what? Compare to your feeling for WrestleMania last year to this year. I'll let you go, Braden.
I think this year's a little underwhelming, especially because obviously the Bloodline kind of dominated, but I'm a little biased. Roman Reigns is my favorite wrestler of all time. But I was invested more last year, But this year it's kind of been more like hit or miss for me because some of the stuff isn't hitting as much as it should be, especially with how they were advertising. This one should be bigger than it was last year.
Right.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like the bloodline was the central node of last year's and all of everything like intertwined into it. And then there's also the factors of Cody Rhodes wrestling twice on both nights. Seth
Right.
Rollins also wrestled on both nights. It was such a big deal. They made it like Roman Reigns was this huge monument that everybody had to work together to defeat.
Thanos.
So he was literally Thanos. So it's like now you have your Thanos still in a main event match, but not like the central force of it. And yeah, The Rock is nowhere to be seen, which I think is weird. I mean, he is very likely going to show up on the actual event, but yeah, The Rock was way more involved last time. The Rock would hoot and holler on his podcast about how he felt that he should be the one, fighting. But now he's definitely taken a back seat. Maybe it's a lesson learned from last year, but I really think that the build from last year was a lot more interesting. And there's a lot of unknowns. Well, now I feel like we're going to get into predictions, but I feel like I can comfortably predict this year. Well, last year I was like, I don't know. Like, yeah, Cody lost the year before, but who knows what's going to happen? Like, all the odds are stacked against them. So now it just feels like there is potential for hit and miss, which I don't feel comfortable saying because I obviously want hits. But yeah, last year's build up was a lot more exciting for me.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I gotta ask you. I didn't. You know what? I did not know, Braden, that Roman Reigns was your favorite of all time. Were you a fan of Big Dog Roman Reigns?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
okay.
have a,
All right.
I have a big dog hat in my room.
Wow. Real fan. Real fan.
Salute.
I know, right?
Yeah, I agree. Is not the buildup isn't nearly as well. I'm still excited to see how things mesh out, but I mean, yeah, The Rock actually wrestled last year. I mean, but I disagree with what you said about maybe he decided to take a back seat. Are you kidding me? He needed to be a part of this build up. This WrestleMania needs him as a build up. So I will see how it plays out. I guess as we get into our predictions, I have predictions about that man, Dwayne. So, all right. We just talked about our topics, how we felt about
Mm-hmm.
the state of WWE wrestling. Let's get into our WrestleMania predictions. World Tag Team Championships, the Viking Raiders versus, or is it
The
the
War
War?
Raiders. Yeah.
It's the War Raiders, right?
Yeah. Now they are.
Versus the New Day. Where are
Mm.
we going with that prediction?
I'm going with the New Day because they have to. They turned heel for a reason, and they need to build them up strong. There's only one way to make them even stronger. You got to give them the titles now, but you're not giving them consistent screen time. So they at least need to be the best in their division.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Right on. Like the War Raiders haven't even cut promos. Like they're not even on TV. Like you can't get away with that as a title holder. So yeah, it's time for New Day to actually need like I need you to have the gold. Like they've been heel. Like you need to be about it. Like you can't be walking around saying all this stuff, chatting to the fans, and not have gold around your waist. So it's about time they do that.
Yeah, I agree. They have actually been effective heels. And what more to get heat on than to get those titles. So I think we're all predicting for the New Day to become the new tag team champions.
Mm-hmm.
The next match, Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano.
uh, I think that they're gonna have the poser luchador win, and this is the reason why. I know it's at WrestleMania, and I know it's against Rey Mysterio, but the next main event or PLE is going to be at in Mexico, so it only makes sense for him to win this one, and then them to get their lick
Mm,
back in Mexico, in the home country where most of the luchadores are from. So I think, yeah, he's gonna win for like cheating purposes, of course, and then in Mexico. He's gonna like use that for the next like month-ish, a month and a half-ish, and say, I'm the best luchador. And then finally, he gets unmasked and revealed as who everybody thinks is Chad Gable in Mexico, which I think is the perfect place for them to do that.
Yeah, I also think El Grande Americano will win. I'm not excited for this match. I feel like they just throw it on there because if they're gonna give him a win, then this is kind of where you're gonna give him the win. But yeah, I'm not really that excited for this match. Let's just put it that way.
I think this is a reward for Chad Gable. He has been cooking this year. He's tremendous. They've given him chicken crap and he's made salad out of it. I got mad respect. I really like Chad Gable, so I'm glad he got it. I mean, could another match have been on WrestleMania? Some other stars. There's a lot of stars that aren't on WrestleMania, so good for him. And Rey Mysterio, he is the GOAT. Lucha Libre, Hall of Famer. I'm definitely like you guys said. I think El Grande Americano is going to get this win, and they're going to drag it out for him to be unmasked. So that one. Now, Naomi versus Jade Cargill. Braden, where are you with this match?
I think Jade wins because she already lost to Liv on her return, so I can't see her losing twice. And so unless Naomi has shenanigans, like you even brought up, bringing up the Meta Girls and having them help her. So if something like that happens, then that makes sense if Naomi wins. But if there's no interference, Jade should win.
Yeah. I was originally going to disagree, but when you brought up the potential of interference, I do agree because logically it doesn't make any physical sense for Jade Cargill to lose to anybody ever. So Naomi winning, it would make sense for her to have that interference factor. The reason why I was going to originally disagree was because I thought they would make this like a series of matches and have them have like a long lasting feud than it just being a one-off match. But I would love if the Meta Girls like become what Piper Niven and Isla Dawn is to Chelsea Green to Naomi. I would love for her to have like an actual like posse or group or something to just make her stronger in order to be like a really strong heel in the women's division.
Yeah, I agree. Like I'm looking at her promos. This version of Naomi can be a champion. She can be a really good heel champion. I think there are going to be a series of matches with this. To me, it doesn't make sense for like Jade before Naomi got her heat back. Jade dominated Naomi, multiple times. I think the right call is for shenanigans and cheating or whatever to happen. Maybe the Meta Girls. I think it's time for them to come up on a roster. They're losing matches in NXT. So I think, yeah, I'm going with Naomi by shenanigans. The next match for night one, a Mr. Jacob Fatu challenging for the United States Championship. Where are you, Riss, with this?
I could not want Jacob Fatu to win this more, I don't think. I mean, it'll be a great match regardless. Like, I think that their ring chemistry is fantastic, and I'm really looking forward to this match. But it's about time that he has gold around his waist. He has been doing so great in the entirety of him being on like there's no miss. I don't think he has any misses in any of his matches or any of his promos. So I think it's about time. I don't know what that leads to next. I mean, I feel like he's very versatile and could have feuds with just anybody, but I think it's about time for Gold to come back to the bloodline in one way, shape, or another. And I think he's the perfect person to have that.
Obviously, I already said Roman Reigns my favorite, but I love the Samoan dynasty. And obviously, I'm going to pick Jacob Fatu here. And he's just amazing with what he does in ring. Like, when I'm watching wrestling with my dad, we lose our minds when he would, like, do the backflip by, like, sitting on the rope or whatever. And he, like, jump up there so fast and backflip off the top. It's insane what he can do, and I think he wins this one. Maybe Solo challenges him later down the line, and that's where they go with the breakup with them. but I think Jacob Fatu wins here.
I'm actually gonna go in a different direction. Solo and Tamatanga and Tungaloa cost him the match.
Oh,
They basically kicked Jacob out because Jacob's gonna be a face. It's inevitable. You got people chanting Fatu,
yeah.
people want to cheer for him. I see it. I think maybe they cost him the match, and then you can run Jacob versus whatever they're called. And you can run that, and then you still, because LA Knight just got the title back. You just give it back to him so he can lose again. I think you create some heat with Solo Sokoa in that group, and you instantly make Jacob Fatu a face, which is inevitable for him. So my prediction is LA Knight retains because of Bloodline 2.0 question mark. Okay, here we are. The WWE Women's Championship. Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair. Braden, I'll let you go.
This one's kind of tough to predict for me because
It is.
Tiffany Stratton has been like tanking everything with this title, but she's recent winner, and if you give her this win, then maybe you could build her up. But if you want the certified champion, then you just give the belt, back to Charlotte Flair. But I think I'm gonna go with Charlotte Flair on this one.
Uh, yeah, I mean, it just breaks my heart to say that, like, I don't know if I want Tiffany Stratton to come out as champion. It just has been boring for me, and I think it just has to do with her not having somebody across from her that can give her the feud that she needs, even though we thought Charlotte Flair would be that person. I mean, the last back and forth that they had with each other definitely brought some heat to it. And there's also this video released on X where Charlotte attacked her in the parking lot. I mean, everything happens in the parking lot. Nobody's safe in the parking lot. So I'm like, okay, that added some heat. I think that was like the only, like, we only see it that way though. We've only seen like Charlotte Flair attacking Tiffany Stratton. Like, we haven't seen it nearly as much the other way, and maybe because they're still trying to paint Tiffany Stratton in this like baby face like form. But regardless, yeah, I want Tiffany to win because I just can't like root for Charlotte Flair, not like gag at the same time. But I think for business, I think if Charlotte Flair wins this, whether it be Tiffany Stratton getting a rematch and going on the chase, or her putting up another superstar, that has better potential for storyline than Tiffany Stratton winning and then I don't know. Like, I mean, there's Roxanne Perez. Like, I don't know. But I just feel like there's better potential for Charlotte Flair to come out on top for business, which sucks. I hate saying that.
Babyface Tiffany Stratton hasn't worked. I think they course correct. She loses this title and goes full heel. She's just a better heel. I think that's just what's gonna happen. She's gonna go, she was wearing all black. She wasn't wearing pink last SmackDown. She somewhat wrestled like a heel,
That's true.
but Roxanne Perez is just a heel. But I think they might course correct with her because she's not a good face. I'm not feeling it. I think Charlotte comes out as the champion. And now, World Heavyweight Championship, Gunther versus a Mr. Jey Uso. Chris.
We know what needs to happen. Before, initially after the whole like Royal Rumble, we're like, yeah, Jay is getting this. In a couple weeks, he was opening the shows. They're like, yeah, it's Jay's time. And then it started to die down, and I was like, wait, Jay is not gonna win this. Like, I'm not sold anymore. They did the promos, they did the thing. We have to yeet I mean, I guess the evening. Like, we can't yeet the night away since it's gonna
The
start the
afternoon.
show. We yeet the afternoon or like the beginning of the show away. But regardless, they need to do this. They can't, because then it's like, what's next? what's next? Like Gunther has done all that he needs to do with that world title, and at this point, I don't think I would be interested in seeing Jay against Gunther ever again. If he loses for what, the third time, the fourth time, give up, man. Not everybody's dream can come true, and unfortunately, you're gonna have to give up this one if he loses. I'm not trying to be a pessimist, but they got to do this one. They have to do the obvious thing.
As I already kind of said earlier, I think Jay's going to win. He kind of has to win, or else he won't be taken as seriously as even though he's so popular, he won't be taken seriously for the championship if he can't win this one.
That's true. That's very, very true. Blood has to be drawn. Gunther has to bleed basically to get his full comeuppance and lose that title. I'm with you. Jay is will come out as the new champion. So we have 1, 2, 3 title changes on night one. New Day, Charlotte. I think we all picked Charlotte. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we have Jay.
Mm-hmm.
So the main event, CM Punk, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns. Who comes out on top? Braden.
I have Seth Rollins. I think Paul Heyman, he's going to be a snake again. He's going to backstab Roman Reigns and CM Punk. And Rollins already kind of alluded to it. He said he has a favor now, as he said at the end of Monday Night Raw. But I think Paul Heyman goes with Seth Rollins, and Seth Rollins wins.
Perfectly said. That would make for the most cinematic experience ever, especially with them wanting to be like on par with deserving the main event, air spot. Like obviously the superstars are main event superstars, but we had the potential of Jay and Gunther being the main event. There initially we thought that maybe Charlotte and Tiffany would be the main event, and they took the spot. They need something. I don't want it to be a boring ending. They need to do something, and I think that would be crazy. It would be a crazy way to end the night. If we're not eating the night away, we need to at least be shocked that we are hearing Seth Rollins' song but don't want to sing along, because we think that this match is a feud between like a Paul Heyman custody battle. But hey, man, Seth Rollins is going to be the one that actually wins the custody, and it'll be so shocking. It'll be great. He needs to win this match.
I think you're right. He does need to win this match more than the other two.
Mm-hmm.
Roman Reigns is Teflon. He can lose this match. He could even eat the pin, and he's still the GOAT of WWE. He's Roman Reigns. So I think Seth does need this win more so than all of them. I mean, I don't know where you go with Punk. I guess you can still have Roman and Punk.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I mean, I don't know what you do afterwards, but there's still intrigue in whoever fights, because Paul is basically, based on your prediction, turning on both of them. So, he does have cause to turn on Roman because Roman abandoned him. I don't know about Punk. I'm sure he'll come with something wonderful to say, about turning on his best friend. So I'm predicting Seth Rollins, and I'm also predicting a Paul Heyman turn. Mm-hmm. So on to night 2. Sin City Street Fight. Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest. Where are you at, Riss? Where are you at with this?
That's a good question. Like a street fight is not a last man standing. You have to pin them, right?
I think it's you know what? I think it's just a falls count anywhere type.
Falls count anywhere, okay. Because I'm like, if it was a last man standing, I don't know. I feel like it would have been like a double count out. For this one, I really can't predict who wins. I feel like Damian Priest may need the win more than Drew McIntyre does. Perhaps they make this like elongating the feud and having another gimmick match in Mexico. But I don't know. Like I really can't predict who will win this, just simply based off of the fact that both of them have gotten back at each other an even amount. They haven't done the WWE thing where it's like, oh, whoever stands tall is the one who's going to lose, so I know that they're going to take the pin. I really can't predict this, and I think Yeah, I mean, Drew has done an amazing job with all of the feuds that he's been in for the past year and a half. And I'm glad that they found somewhere to fit him in for WrestleMania since he's not in the title picture. But I think if they want to pull like the who needs it more, it would be Priest. But if they want to make it so they can continue a back and forth, maybe Drew takes the first W. I don't know.
I'm going with Drew McIntyre. He had one of the greatest years, especially for losing a lot. But he had one of the greatest years, and I feel like he won't
Good,
just be put on this just to lose to Drew McIntyre.
good point. He has had so many good moments, but he's lost
He's
them.
lost.
I
Yeah.
think you gotta give him his moment.
Yeah.
But come on.
Great point. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I'm going. This is a hard one to predict because I feel like Damian Priest does need this win more. I think Drew can lose and still get his heat,
Mhm.
but he talks so much trash. He got to beat somebody. He didn't come out on top with Punk. Like I think he has to get this win. So I'm going with Drew with
Mhm.
this one. Oh, before I get into other matches that are set, Randy Orton versus to be announced. What do you think, Braden?
It kind of all depends on who they put up against him. If it's like somebody like Cody Rhodes, where he was a good guy going in, I feel like the good guy, and like because I could see Randy going heel at some point soon, because he
He's
already said he's
already,
going after the undisputed championship.
yeah.
Yeah, but I think he has to win or something, because he kind of needs to. If he's going to go after the title, he has to build himself up.
So you're not going to predict a person?
No, because it's kind of too tough to pick between
It is.
who's
It
going to go
is.
out there.
What
Yeah,
do you think, Chris?
that's true. It is pretty tough. I mean, yeah, I think this will be the last like hoorah of good guy Randy Orton who shakes hands, kisses babies, blow bubbles. I'm ready for 2009 Randy Orton, but of course, at WrestleMania, he's got to have his last final win before he breaks all the hearts of all the fans. Um, I want it to be a returning Aleister Black or a returning Rusev, but if it's not, unfortunately, I feel that Solo Sikoa might be the man for the job just because I really don't know who else would make sense to go against Randy Orton. They already have bad blood with each other. And I'm like, who else in the back? Like, who else in the back, like, makes sense? I don't know. Like, I just feel like they have one final show to make something if they want to make something. And Solo Sikoa right now or somebody in the bloodline is the only people that they've got something going with. And then of course if that were the case, Randy Orton would of course win. But on the case of a returning individual, I think there's got to be some kind of interference to make them both look good. Um, so yeah, I would really hope that they don't go the route of Solo or anybody else on the roster. They, God, please, please,
We've seen that 300 times.
that's not saying we have, and that's the problem.
I think if you go with main roster, there's two people that stand out in my head that's there that don't have a match. You can go Sheamus or you can go Karrion Kross. You can go one of those two guys. I think they could have a spot. I think it could potentially be one of two matches that starts the show.
Mm-hmm.
For night two, you could have Randy standing in the middle of the ring and Aleister Black comes out. That would be an amazing way to start the show. If I had to pencil, that's what I'm doing. So, but I don't know how to predict a newcomer. Are you going to have a newcomer lose? I mean, Randy Orton is Teflon. He can take an L and still have people singing along to his song and
Mm-hmm.
RKO people and people will pop. Anyway, the next match that I think will probably start the show is the Intercontinental Championship. Braun Breaker, Penta, Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio. Braden, who's winning that match?
I have Dom winning
You have
Ooh.
Dom.
because with all the shenanigans, I think he's going to take advantage of Finn Balor. So he's either going to pin Finn Balor or Finn Balor's going to like hit the coup de grace on somebody and he's just going to take advantage of it. And then Finn Balor's going to get all mad again and then he's going to turn on him again. Like he's already at the brink of breaking. So all it takes is Dom to do one more thing, and he's about to snap.
Mhm. I have Dom as the one who I want to win, but I don't have him as who I think will win. I think there will be a spot that causes the final, break on the camel's back to have Finn Balor just get super mad at Dominic and finally be the solo wrestler that he's been wanting to be for the past couple of months. Like Finn has definitely been up and down with being a part of Judgment Day, so it's about time that he leaves. So I think that there is going to be a spot that causes that, friction. But I think Penta is going to win. I don't know. I feel like they're ready to have him have some gold. Like his debut in WWE was stellar, and it'll just be so great. I mean, hey, maybe they wait for Mexico. Maybe they wait for Mexico to really have some like major title change for the Luchadores. But I don't know. I feel like Braun Breaker's title reign, I'm okay. Like it's been great, but I'm ready for it to be done. I'm ready for him to be more on the chase or just having feuds with other people. But yeah, I think I would love for Dom to win, but I don't know. I think they want to do the whole breakup beforehand, and then they'll have him maybe eventually pursue gold.
So I see this as a lot of things going on. You've had them teasing another member of Judgment Day. You have the friction of Finn Balor and everybody. And what you just brought up about Mexico, this could main event that pay-per-view in Mexico. Intercontinental Champion Dom Mysterio versus Penta.
Oh, you're right.
That could be it. We haven't had that nuclear heat that Dom gets in the middle of the ring of him and Liv Morgan in a ring being showered with booze. My prediction is Dom comes out because of some type of shenanigans like with Finn Balor and new member of Judgment Day, whoever that might be. Um, so yeah, I'm going with Dom coming out with that championship. And I think you move Braun Breaker on to other things. You can have him feud with Jey Uso, who will be the champion there. I mean, who knows? Which goes into the women's tag team title, Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez versus Bayley and Laura Valkyria. Braden.
I have Liv and Raquel retaining because Bailey and Lyra, they're not really a team, and you already saw what they did on Raw. It looked like Bailey was already about to was done with Lyra with what happened in that match. So there's no chance that they actually win here. They're gonna wait for maybe a team from NXT builds themselves up, gets up there, and maybe they challenge them and they eventually win. But I just don't think they would take the titles off Liv and Raquel right away.
Agreed. And I think this would be the perfect catalyst for heel Bailey to come back. It's like Bailey has not been in the title picture for a very long time. I mean, since she lost the title to Nia Jax. So she's like, oh, I'm gonna get gold again. It's time for me to get back on the map, and it just goes to crap, and she takes it out on Lyra, and then that just continues to, I guess, build a feud between them with Bailey as a heel this time rather than a noble face that shakes her hand after the fight. Like we don't want that Bailey. We want Ding Dong Hello Bailey. We want, the Bailey that cut down all the blow up balloons and broke everybody's heart. Like that's who we want back. That was, I don't know. I just feel like she was more in her element there than this kind of hybrid, like cool girl. Like I don't know, which she had to be because of the whole damage control situation. So I don't fault them for her heel turn after the face turn, or sorry, the face turn after the heel turn. But I'm ready for heel Bailey to come back. There's not a lot of real heels in the women's division right now. So I think having one would be great for just feuds in general and just being able to build matches.
Yeah, I agree with both of you. I think standing in the middle of that ring of Judgment Day, you have the retaining World Tag Team Women's Champions of Liv and Raquel and Intercontinental Champion Dom getting crazy heat. And yeah, I think it is time. Bailey needs some type of heat, and they could use heels. I would love to see that. I hope they do. But yeah, that's my prediction there. Next, we have Logan Paul versus AJ Styles. Riss,
Oh
your prediction.
god. I think I think Logan Paul might be on some like winning streak against people, so I don't really foresee him losing in like one-on-one matches. I don't think he's lost a one-on-one match against like anybody he's faced. Like,
Roman Reigns, I guess.
oh, okay, well, that's a given. But outside of that, it's like what was it, like Rey Mysterio he beat like Ricochet, like I don't know, they're really trying to put him up because he is like title material 100%. So yeah, unfortunately, AJ Styles has returned, but I don't think he's gonna win this match. I think Logan Paul's gonna win by way of cheating. There's gonna be some celebrity in the crowd that's gonna give him his brass knuckles that he hides, and then that's how he's gonna win with the super punch. And I'm saying this like in an annoying voice because I just don't like Logan Paul, but I mean he plays his character so well, and I mean he's a fantastic athlete, so I don't fault them for giving him the opportunities because he's going to be a title holder, like no doubt. So, yeah, I don't foresee him losing in WrestleMania at all. And AJ Styles can take the loss; it doesn't hurt him at all.
Right. I agree. This is the one that's, I don't know if it's hard to predict, but I'm not feeling it really. Um, I think Logan Paul, I think this is kind of maybe AJ Styles' his final run. I think yeah, I think Logan Paul, you build him, you can have him go against new champion Jay. You can definitely push that. So that, and I think that'd be some good heat, although his promos are so weird. But yeah, I think Logan Paul comes out on that. So now, Women's World Championship. Io Sky, Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley. Riss, who's coming out with that championship?
They're trying to play us here. They're trying to play us like, Rhea might come out on top. Rhea doesn't deserve it. Okay, I love Rhea Ripley, but we got to keep it frank here. We got to keep it real. I'm a realist. Rhea Ripley signed her name on that goddamn contract, and whoopsie daisy, she's in the match now because Bianca Belair did a bad job as a special guest referee. Whatever, man. I'm like, okay, so in the future now people can just write their names on the contract and they can just get in the match after they don't deserve it.
You could
Whatever.
write your name on a contract.
I could have wrote my name on that contract to be right there in Mania, but regardless, I think they're trying to play the deflection like, ooh, it's Rhea and Bianca. Like that's what we're really needing to pay attention to. But Io has been disrespected by both of them, so I think it'll be kind of like I don't want to say a surprise win because Io is at their level when it comes to just general wrestler prowess. She's so amazing, but I think standing next to those two pillars, she can kind of get, shaded away. And I think that's exactly what they want to play. So I think Io is going to come out on top.
There's obviously two choices that seem logical because you have Bianca Belair, who hasn't touched the title in a while, and then Io Sky, who just won the title. Rhea Ripley, I don't feel like she stands a chance. If she wins, that'd be like probably the most surprising thing at WrestleMania this year. But I have Bianca winning because I think they're building up to where they need to have her versus Jade Cargill at SummerSlam.
That makes sense. And then you also have her streak. She has was it 5 match
She has a lot.
streak or something like that? So I think there could be a factor, but I kind of feel like the smush face they're doing to EO is a swerve, but then there's the the streak. Now I don't know if they are really planning to her win streak. I am gonna go EO because of the disrespect and how we're being led that she doesn't have a chance against these two Mont Beast. So I'm going with EO retaining, and then maybe Bianca and Rhea have a program with each other, you know, um, going forward. So now the final match of night two: John Cena versus Cody Rhodes for that WWE, the undisputed WWE Championship. Riss, who's coming out?
You guys already know. I'm a realist though. Okay. I can be, caught up in the moment, of course. John Cena's my goat, the apple of my eye. I've said this before and I'll say it again. The way a lot of people feel about LeBron James is the way that I feel about John Cena. He is the GOAT. But John Cena has been on this really weird, like, I want to be a villain of a kids movie phase. Like, I'm gonna ruin wrestling for you. I'm gonna take the belt and retire it, and nobody, like, wrestling won't be fun anymore. Yeah, whatever, John Cena. You'll leave this phase eventually. You know, that's not who you are. It's fine. It's whatever. John Cena's not winning this. Cody Rhodes is absolutely the hero, the Captain America in this story that's gonna save wrestling for all the fans and all the humans, and will live happily ever after. That's exactly what's going to happen. And then John Cena will be sitting there, sad and wilted, just like that sad sight of WrestleMania 39 with Cody Rhodes and the chicken. But then Cody Rhodes, who's so noble and nice, will pick John Cena up off the ground and will hug him and say how much he respects him and blah, 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 blah. I'm excited to see it as much as they don't sound like I am. But I just don't like to say that my goat will lose. Like, sue me.
Did you just basically say that John Cena is a Spy Kids villain?
Yeah, that's exactly what he is right now. That's exactly what he is right now.
His inflection is so weird. I hate you all. You all suck. That kid over there. He was pointing to you. He's pointing to you. You're
Yeah,
that kid over
he said
there.
that to me.
Anyway, Braden, how's this gonna go?
This one's tough for me to predict
Really?
because I'm picking Cody because I think he's going to get help from somewhere. I think The Rock has to be there. He's going to try to interfere, try to give John Cena the championship. But I think we might hear the glass shatter. Stone Cold might walk down there, give him a stunner, and Cody might stand tall with Stone Cold right next to him, just like Stone Cold missed out on last year.
Mhm.
I think he definitely has regret for that. And I wrote down in ink several weeks ago that The Rock will catch a stunner at WrestleMania. So we will see
I read
shenanigans.
that down
Travis
too.
Scott, Travis Scott,
Oh,
whoever else wants to be involved, The Rock, they're going to get involved. Shenanigans, shatter the glass, stunner, stunner. Maybe he even stuns Cody. Stunner, stunner. And Cody is going to walk out because this isn't the way John Cena wants to win 17. But, but WWE likes to shock us. In the very last moment, Ric Flair's going to be, well, Ric Flair said he can't be there. He's still under contract with AEW. So Ric Flair is not going to be there.
well, like, basically, were you gonna go along the way of like Cena winning and then Ric Flair like shaking his hand like some evil villain
No,
posse? Oh, okay.
just the thing is there's no logic to him winning.
None.
But there is the shock factor that WWE loves. They want people to talk about it on ESPN, CNN, Fox News, whoever. The shock value of John Cena winning number 17 at WrestleMania. Where you go after that, I don't know.
He said he's gonna retire with the title and it'll die forever.
That's right. He's gonna ruin. I'm gonna ruin wrestling for
Like,
you.
what the heck?
No, honestly, I don't think he wins. I think Cody retains. It's more story, especially with John Cena, who's wrestling to the end of this year. I think there's more story. I think in SummerSlam, he goes for it against whomever has it, because I don't think Cody's going to be the champion then. Um,
You don't?
I think Cody might drop it to someone. I don't know. I have to go in a lab and figure that one out.
Oh, fair.
Or what if Hill Cena? We're getting way off. Hill Cena goes after Jay and takes it from Jay.
Really?
But I don't want to go too far in the future. My prediction is that Cody Rhodes will retain.
Mm-hmm.
There will be shenanigans,
Mm-hmm.
stunners everywhere, and John Cena is going to reflect that this isn't how I win this title. I use hustle, loyalty, and respect. And he's going to cry and he's going to have this impassioned speech. And then The Rock's going to come out and beat him down. And then we got that.
Oh yeah.
I think Braden, you predicted Cena versus The Rock at SummerSlam.
That is my prediction. I don't know. Does Cody stand tall at the end of WrestleMania though? He
Yeah, I
might
don't want
win.
to
He
go
might
too
retain,
far.
but does he win?
Right, I don't want to go too far, but that's my prediction. Cody's going to retain. Um, so do we have any title changes on night two? Uh,
Yes, I think we have Dom.
yeah, we have Dom.
Yeah.
That's the only title change. So night one had three. Night one has just the one according to us. So that's it. That's our predictions. We're going to be down in Las Vegas on WrestleMania weekend. We're not going to WrestleMania because those tickets are insane. We are seeing Stand and Deliver, so excited for that. Um, and we're gonna go to WWE World. We're gonna meet Asuka. That's gonna be great. We're going to I'm sorry, not WWE, WrestleCon.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna meet the Hardys and Tony Storm, so that's gonna be fun. So yeah, we have a full weekend of stuff for WrestleMania weekend. Exciting times. So our next video will be clips and a report of what happened in Las Vegas. Because what happened in Las Vegas won't stay in Las Vegas. It'll be on the DDT Wrestling Podcast. And with that, DDT out.
You just can't get up from that.